Hello. You are listening to the No Brainers Empowering Possibilities Show. These are dialogues of encouragement with fresh perspectives, some invitations to ahas, a little bit of science and a dash of behavioral psychology, applicable tools, and a whole lot of creative fun. So if leveling up is on your radar, my friend, you are at the right show. I'm your host, Roseanne Marsh. I'm the author of the teen and parent empowerment curriculum called Level Up. And you are listening to episode number 32, Everyday Healing Breath. Now, I have a special guest host today. Her name is Michele Glaittli, and she is an expert in breathing. She's teaching classes, changing people's life. And today she's going to give you some tools and allow you to feel these different breath works so that you can see what it can do for you in your life. I want you to pay particular attention to the stories that she tells about the application of these different breaths. She's teaching 5 breaths in a meditation. The first 3 are in this episode. Next week, you get another dose. Are you ready? Let's level up. Hello. You are listening to the No Brainers Empowering Possibilities Show. These are dialogues of encouragement with fresh perspectives, invitations to ahas, a little bit of science, and a dash of behavioral psychology, but a whole lot of creative fun. So if leveling up is on your radar, my friend, you are at the right show. I'm your host, Roseanne Marsh, author of the teen and parent empowerment curriculum called Level Up, Empowering Possibilities. And you are listening to episode number 32. Oh my gosh, Michele, I am so excited for you to be here. You guys have to know that I have asked her many times. I think I've been that person on her phone blowing it up constantly. And you'll know why after you have a chance to learn from her. And I have to tell you that breath work is something that I became interested in years ago when I found out how amazing it is to be able to control your emotions. And Michele's going to go over a lot of the different benefits of breathing. And with Level Up Empowering Possibilities, of course, it's all about learning control over your thoughts, your mind, your action, etc. And what's so interesting is the breath is so related to the emotion. So for every single emotion that's out there, there's a certain rhythm of breath. So for example, if you're in anxiety, it's this, it's like this breathing, this fast breathing. And when you are in despair, it's just like this, So, I mean, it's interesting that we can actually get in our classes, people to breathe in a certain way. And then we'll say, what emotion does that remind you of? And they can come up with that emotion. Well, imagine if we could change our state, if we could change our emotion just by breathing differently. Now, that's just one of the many things that breathing can do. And so that's why I brought in Michele Glaittli, who is an expert on breathing. I want her to tell you a little bit about her background. And guys, you're in for a treat because you're going to go away with some usable tools today that can literally change your life. So Michele, thank you for being a part of this show today. Welcome to No Brainers Empowering Possibilities Show.
It's such an honor to be here, Roseanne. I have a passion for breath, and it's because it changed my life. I'm an exercise and sports scientist. I work with children. I teach gymnastics and dance. It's something that I've done for a long time. And I also help coach with nutrition and also mind management, which has been a blessing. I came into the opportunity to learn about breath, and it was something that I knew I would like to try, but it took me a little bit to get there, right? You hear about something and there's 3 kinds of people. Somebody who hear about it and they say, oh, that sounds good, but I think I'll try it later. Or they say, I know who that could help. Or there's the person that says, I know that I need this, and they're going to actually apply it. Breath is really something that can help you as long as you use it, as long as you actually apply it. So everything that I tell you today, if you actually take the time to breathe, even if it was just 5 minutes a day, you will notice a difference in your body. Physiological body changes by the breath. If you have an injury to your body, like your shoulder, or you have even a head injury, or your heart, or anywhere that you might have an injury, a broken leg. As a gymnast, I had a broken foot. and I competed on it. And I didn't even know that I had a broken foot. And I went along for quite a while with that. So how long can you go with an injury to your body? You could go pretty long. What about your food? How long can you go without food? Maybe 30 days. How long can you go without water? You can go maybe 3 days without water. How long can you go without breath? How many seconds? How many minutes? Not long. Because of the importance of the breath, your body, your physiological body responds quickly to the breath. You think about the mind, and the mind is like a kite, and it wanders, right? The mind can wander here and fro and everywhere. And can you control the mind with the mind? Sometimes you can. But what about incidences in your life where something dramatic happens, or there's a situation where you're just caught unexpected? Then what happens? Well, what controls the kite? It's a string. And if you think of the string as the breath, you can control the mind. What do you have without the mind? What do you have without your mind? We see so many things in our society right now. Depression, anxiety have skyrocketed. You see children who are really struggling, even in school, or when you're taking tests or you have performances. Anything that you're doing that way, when you have this pressure on you and you feel like you don't know how to get to a state of being where you're relaxed and calm and focused, the breath that I'm going to show you today actually changes that state. I'm going to teach you 5 breaths today that will help you. This is proven and it's researched. I want to talk first about Sudarshan Kriya. This is where I learned breath. It's through the art of living. And I was just so excited to hear about breath. And I actually had hurt my shoulder. I had an injury and it wasn't getting better. And I tried many modalities, many. And the doctors took an MRI and they said, you actually have like 3 tears and impingement bursitis. You're going to need surgery. And I thought about doing that surgery, but I'm very sensitive to chemicals in my body. So I thought, I want to wait. And then I heard about this breath class, and I had been about 3-4 months that I'd had this injury and I wasn't sleeping. And sleep is big. Sleep is big. When you stop sleeping, your life kind of stops. And instead of thriving, I was just barely surviving. So I took this breath class, and during this advanced breath work that I was doing, my pain in my shoulder stopped for the first time. I hadn't had relief. I personally, I can't take ibuprofen. I can't take Tylenol. Aspirin is about the only thing, and I could maybe get a little relief with that. But I'm talking about all my pain completely stopped during that breath. It was 20 minutes that I started, went into a little bit longer of a breath technique, and all the pain stopped. So I was very committed to doing this breath work every day. And that's why I call my breath every day healing breath, because when you apply it every day, you get paramount benefits. But if you do it one time, you still get amazing benefits. So it's dynamic. It's so empowering. This is so big. This is so big. You can even say, this is so big. It is, it's so big. And I took this 30-day challenge and I got movement in my arm for the first time. And we're talking, this was in the end of May, and I had injured my shoulder in December, and I was trying everything the doctors had asked me to do. You know, I was doing physical therapy, massage therapy, cupping, acupuncture, chiropractic. I was trying everything. This breath work, I was able to get, significant increase in my movement, my mobility, and my shoulder. And then I did 100 days of breath work. This wasn't hard breath work. It was easy. And I did that for 100 days, and I actually got full movement in my arm. It was about up to here. I repeated the class that I took, the workshop, and I got full extension, full mobility of my arm. That's without surgery. What does breath do for the body that you could heal like that? What does it do for the mind? It decreases the inflammation in your body right away. It decreases it. The inflammation, that's the root of illness, right? Disease is inflammation. You can oxygenate every cell in the body. Every single cell in the body gets that oxygen, it starts to heal. You put your sympathetic nervous system to rest, you put it into the parasympathetic, and you get the rest and digest. A lot of times people will say, oh, I'm gonna change my food and my diet. That's great. Change your food, change your diet, but what about the breath? What if you're not in that rest and digest? What if you are in that sympathetic mode, right? Where you're just in fight and flight. It doesn't matter really what you're eating. You don't even digest the food, but you do simple breath even before you eat, you can change your state, change your mind. So as I want you to think for just a minute about what if you can change your state just as quick as a breath? What if you can do that? You can. And I want you to feel like what that would be like in your life to just have this calm state. I know people who take vacations and they go to Hawaii and they think, I'm going to have the most amazing, beautiful time. They want to run away from their life. I had a girlfriend and she was, stressed out. She was going through a divorce. She had had some great loss in her life. And for about 10 minutes on the beach, she felt great. And then all those thoughts came rushing back. What if you can take a vacation every day, right where you are, no matter where you are? You can calm the heart, you can calm the mind, and you can just be in this beautiful state of absolute contentment. Because really, that's what breath does. It helps you be content with what is. It can put you in the present moment. What would that feel like to just be in the present moment? Not worrying about the past or not thinking about the future, but you're just right here, right now, that you're living and you're happy. We want our children to be that way. I teach children, and going through the pandemic was really difficult for them. And a lot of times I'd say, I think we just need to breathe, especially since they were wearing masks and their breath was compromised. So just being able to do some deep breathing was amazing for them. It changed their state of being, and they would say, Miss Michele, can we just breathe? Can we just take a few minutes to breathe before class? I noticed that when I have a performer, someone who's performing a skill, I ask them, how's your breath? And as soon as they change their breath, their skill level increases, not just a little. It increases exponentially on their breath. A lot of times people hold their breath when they're nervous. They start to, like in pain. For me, when I was in pain, I was holding my breath. And as I did that, that causes anxiety. A lot of times we're shallow breathers. How are you breathing right now? Are you taking good, deep breaths? Or are you taking a nice little shallow breath that doesn't take you very far, right? And it's as easy as just really focusing on the breath. You do this 23,000 times a day, and you can change all those other things, but you're already doing breath work 23,000 times a day. You can change that. You're already doing it. So let's go ahead and let's start with some nice, easy breath work. I call this intentional breath or coherent breathing. You're here, you're right now. We're just going to focus on that breath. And I want you to sit down, put your feet flat on the ground, and get those sits bones just kind of laid into your chair, and put your hand on your belly. And I want you to breathe in. Just see if you're doing that shallow breath, if your shoulders are lifting up and down like this, or maybe you are doing a diaphragm breath. That's what you want. So go ahead and do a diaphragm breath. Can you feel the difference? Most people take a breath and it's about 3 seconds in, 1, 2, 3, and 3 seconds out. 1, 2, 3. That's usually what most people do. Other people's might do 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out. But what you want is to breathe through the nose and out through the nose. you just feel a calmness right away as you're just thinking about that and just being intentional with your breath? Let's go ahead. And I'd like you to put your hands just in your lap, nice and easy. Put your feet flat on the ground. And I'm going to take you through a nice, easy, coherent breath, an intentional breath. You can close your eyes, and I probably will close mine too. And I'll just count for you. We're going to count in, one count in, one count out. Count in 1, 2, which means you're taking a breath in for 2 seconds. In, 1, 2, out, 1, 2. Then we're going to go to 3. We're going to do that 3 times. Then we're going to go to 4, and we're going to do that 4 times. So as we're breathing, you're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose to my count. Are you ready? Let's do this. Go ahead. We're going to do just a nice cleansing breath in through the nose. And you can breathe out through the mouth if you would like. Before we start, I want to tell you, I know there are people that have maybe some compromised nostrils. You might have an issue breathing in through the nose. If that is the case, just go ahead and take it through the mouth. That's okay. That's great. Just take it through the mouth. But for the best result, take it through the nose. And transitional breath in and let go. Breathe in, 1. Breathe out, 1. Breathe in, 1, 2. Breathe out, 1, 2. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Breathe out. 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 Continue on your own. Keep going. Last time, breathe in. Let go. And go ahead and flutter your eyes open. How does your state feel right now? Do you feel calm and relaxed? Do you feel like you're present? Did your mind stop the racing? That breath is so powerful. I've had individuals do that breath and do that for 20 minutes a day. Their heart rate came down, their resting heart rate came down to numbers they'd never had before. Their blood pressure came down to normal, whereas before it was quite high. You can control the blood pressure with breath. That's proven. Your just the antioxidants go up in your blood. They've taken individuals' blood samples, and then they've tested it before and after. The cortisol levels drop. Your antioxidants go up. The prolactin, the good hormone, the happy hormone goes up. It's beautiful. This is just an easy breath. And when you're just thinking about that and you're going a little deeper, it can change your state quickly. What about when you feel like there's an emergency? When you feel like there's a time when you're just anxious or you have some news that's troubling. I know for me, I was up trail running with my dog, and I got a phone call from my nephew, and he said, Aunt Michelle, do you have your insurance card? I'm here with your son at the hospital, and he's had an accident here. And he told me what happened. And I will tell you that my heart rate went way up. I still had a whole mountain to come down. And I needed a breath that would help me to be calm, especially to be able to show up for him in a way that was calm and relaxed. And I wanted to be present for him. And I didn't want to go into fight and flight. But I'll tell you that just that news and hearing what happened to him, it was pretty traumatic. And I knew it was going to be traumatic for his life. So I got it because I knew breath work. I started to do the emergency breath, or it's called the, I call it the straw breath, because when you do this breath, you actually breathe out with like a straw. You kind of purse your lips and you just let the exhale come out like a straw, and it's long. You breathe in twice through the nostrils and out through the mouth. Long exhalation. What does that do? It starts to spark the vagus nerve, and that vagus nerve goes through every organ of the body. It wraps around every single organ of the body. And that vagus nerve can put you into that rest and digest. Even though I had that traumatic news and I didn't want to go to that fight and flight, and my parasympathetic was definitely engaged. And so I just started to do that breath work, the emergency breath work. Somebody else calls it the 911, the straw breath. Let's try it. You'll also notice that when you have a child that is upset, they automatically do this. You've automatically done this as a child. You start to breathe in and you hear a child do that and they go, wow, right? And you're going to do the same thing, except you're just going to use your breath in twice and out through the mouth. In through the nostril twice and out through the mouth. In twice and out. Again. Keep going in twice and let go. Let's do this another 5 times. In, let go. In twice, let go. You're doing great. Breathe in, let go. Breathe in, let go. Again, breathe in, let go. Do you feel the difference right now? That is the quickest breath to put you into the parasympathetic. There's a great podcast by Andrew Huberman, and he talks about breath. And in there, he talks about the emergency breath or the straw breath. And he's done research. He said, this is the fastest way to get to the parasympathetic. Think of the parasympathetic as a parachute. Think of the sympathetic as maybe you're going to actually jump out of the plane and you have all this adrenaline, and yeah, you need it sometimes, you need to go. But then when you're after the jump out, you're like, I need to do that parachute. You pull the cord and you're just going to rest. You're going to see the beauty of life. You're going to be able to experience it. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to help you be relaxed and calm and focused all at the same time. It's big. This is big. What about if you have a child that's really struggling and they have ADD and they can't focus, and you think, oh, I know we need to wake up that breath, or we need to wake up that brain, or we need to actually calm down the brain. Did you know with ADD that it's actually both? That you need to wake up the brain and you also need to calm the brain. How about if you're really tired and you think, I've just had a really hard day, I've been driving, I have to go into work, or I have an interview, I'm just stressed and I'm really tired all at the same time. I have a wake-up breath for you. This is a wake-up breath. It's called the Ha breath. It's a Qigong breath, and it's called the Ha breath. Ha. And I'd like you to try it with me. This breath, like I said, is used for children, for anyone who has ADD, and you want to wake up the different centers in your brain. And we're going to do that by extending the arms, and you just kind of flutter those fingers. You breathe in and you pull in those arms and you say ha. You can actually do this reversed as well. You can breathe in here and go ha, but I like it this way. So we're going to call it the ha breath this way, where we breathe out, breathe in right here. Sorry, breathe in. Bring the arms back in right next to your sides, right here. So your arms kind of in a square and your elbows are right next to the rib cage. Your hands are in front of you in a nice, easy, not a tight clench, but just a really relaxed palm right here. And the fingers are just brought in slightly. And we're going to go ahead and you turn the fingers down like you're watering the ground right there. Fingertips, everything is down, the palms facing down. And then you're going to bring it back, put your palms up and pull those hands back down, elbows by the rib cage. Your arm is in like just a 90-degree angle there. And you say ha. This breath is actually done 1 breath per second. So it looks like this. It sounds like this. Ha, ha, ha. Would you like to try it with me? We're going to wake up the vocal cords, your throat chakra. And we're going to we call this a yogi wake up breath, right? Or religious Coke, I don't know, whichever one you want to call it. But let's go ahead and let's do this naturally. Let's wake up naturally. Here we go. Wake up the centers of the brain. Get ready. Breathe in. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Good. That was 15 times. How are you feeling? I feel energized. How do you feel? I feel totally energized. Can you feel it? The excitement in your body, you can feel it vibrating. I can in mine. Just focus on that. Even my feet right now are like happy feet. I've got happy feet. Do you have happy feet? I hope so. Okay, we're going to do this 2 more times. And we're going to do this 15 times twice. You actually want to do this 3 times for 15. If that's too much, do 5. Start with 5. Go to 10. Then go to 15. 15 is ideal. We're going to take it again. Are you ready? Here we go. And I close my eyes. When I do this, you can too. I'll count for you. Let's try it again. And nice transition breath in and out. And bring the arms up. Fingertips out. Let them shake. Breathe in and pull it back. Ha, 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 ha. How is that? How do you feel? Do you feel the vibration in your body? Do you feel it speeding up? How's your focus? Do you feel calm but alert? I feel calm and alert. I hope that's what you feel. One more time. Let's just breathe for a minute. Transition breath in and out. Just relax. How's your spine? Is it erect right now? You can do this standing up. Usually I do this standing up. Just so you know, I usually do I do this standing up. And breathe in. Nice, easy breath out. Here we go. One more time. Last time. Let's give it what you got. And ready. Breathe in. And let go. Ha, 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 ha. Let your hands relaxed. Come back down. Maybe you're feeling a little dizzy. It's because you're getting so much oxygen to the brain. Maybe you're not used to that, but you can just go ahead and breathe until you feel like you can do that a little easier. You don't have to do all of them at once. You can do it just a little bit at a time. You should feel, or you could feel, I'm hoping you feel the energy throughout your body. Do this before you have a performance. Do this before you go into an interview or you have to speak. Wake up the centers of your brain. The next breath that I'm going to teach you helps to harmonize both hemispheres of the brain. This is called the alternate nostril breath. It's amazing. This breath in itself can help when you're feeling like you're going to have maybe a panic attack or you need to calm the mind. Maybe you just need to center yourself. It's a very grounding breath. Put two fingers, maybe that's your pointer finger and your middle finger right there in the middle of the brows, or just slightly above the brow. And that's where you put those two fingers. And then you're going to actually cover up the right nostril with the thumb. So it looks like this, right? Cover up that nice nostril with the thumb. It's kind of a restrictive breath that you're doing. And then you're going to breathe in through the right. Close that off with the ring finger and breathe out through the nostril. Breathe out through the right. Breathe out. Breathe in through the right. Close it off and breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Close that off and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Close that off and breathe out through the right. Keep going. Breathe in. Close your right nostril off and breathe out through the left. Good. Let's continue this. Let's do this for 5 rounds. I want you to get used to it. I'm not going to count the whole time. What I want you to do is just feel nice and relaxed through the breath. I want it to just be consistent. You're not taking necessarily a big breath in or a small breath out, or a small breath in and a big breath out. You're just doing a nice, easy, fluid breath. Let's go ahead. Continue. Put your hands back in if you brought your head up. Put those fingers in between the brows, right? And close off which nostril? The right nostril with the thumb. We're going to breathe in through the left and we're going to end on the left. We're going to do 5 rounds. And that means we're going to breathe through both nostrils and exhale through both. That is 1 round. That is 1 round. Ready? And close off the right nostril and breathe in through the left. Close that off and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. In through the left. Close off and out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close off through the left. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. Out through the left. Continue on your own. Keep going. Finish on the round you're on. Breathing out through the left nostril. And when you're ready, go ahead, drop your hands, bring your hands down onto your lap, palms facing forward, spine erect. Let those eyes gently open, flutter them open. How does that feel? Do you feel that calmness? Do you feel that peace? You don't have to go far to feel it. You don't have to go anywhere, but just concentrating on the breath. That's amazing. You don't have to go to Hawaii. You don't have to do anything but just sit right where you are and take a little bit of time. So if somebody, especially children, and they're struggling, and you can help them do the ha breath, which will help wake up the centers of the brain. And then you can actually go into the nostrils, the alternate nostril, and just balance the hemispheres of the brain, the right and the left. You might say, I'm really struggling. I can't breathe out of one side. That's hard for me. And a lot of times it will open up eventually. You just keep trying. But that's usually if you're using one side of the brain over the other, it actually closes off the opposite nostril. And then when you start to use that breath, it helps you to use both sides of the brain, both hemispheres. I feel relaxed and absolutely wonderful right now.
Thank you, Michele. These are amazing breath works, and we're not done yet, because next week you're going to hear the second half of this interview. And in that, she's going to show you a breath work that is used with veterans of war to prevent suicide. Okay, this is something we all need to know. Every teen needs to know. Every child needs to know. And there's another breath that's super powerful. And then she's going to put you through a total body scan meditation. Okay, you're not going to want to miss next week. In the meantime, guys, we're conscious creators. Let's use these skills that she gave us today to bring healing breath to the over 26,000 that we take every single day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Tally ho.